Hey, what's up, everybody? Cheech here. The IronMan Build number 10. I believe that's where we're on this series of updates. Personally, to my good buddy Jeff out there, just a quick update. I'll probably do these in steps and stuff so that I can show a little bit and speak about each thing, specifically what I'm doing. I've been working on the helmet this time. I kind of backed off a little bit on the other things that I was doing so I can concentrate on a few of the tech that I wanted to put into the helmet. Namely, my own little rudimentary version of the heads-up display, which is kind of cool. Right now, it's just at the point of where it's just a camera, and I've got it set up inside there. I was kind of innovative, and I took an old cell phone that had the camera software on it, and it has a camera on it, and basically just specifically using it just so that I could display it through the helmet. I also took into consideration of a few other things like radiation shielding, or external sources of interference and stuff like that towards any of the tech inside the helmet itself. I was kind of using the space blanket, testing that out as a theory that it does block most of the sun's rays, so thermal conduction of heat passing through it isn't going to be as it is. But you might figure it's going to probably be hot inside the helmet. I mean, which I've addressed that with cooling fans and such. Once the system is closed in, the ventilation system should be. I should probably have that at some point of advancement by then. So because you're going to need to be keeping cool inside of here. But essentially, what I was trying to do is just let me show you with the camera here. Okay. Right now, I've got the helmet on. Got its lights working. In the center, you'll see a little circular dark dot. That's actually where the peephole is for the camera. Okay. Now inside, you'll see all my. Hold on, let me get it stabilized and backed up. This is that space blanket material. I've got it on the inside of the helmet, lining it. That's a rechargeable battery right there to run the headlamps inside. And I'll take you inside a little bit. I put two more little plastic strips here to basically, it's a little bright in there looking, but it's not as bright as you think. The extra piece on there actually deflects the light so it's not intense into the eyes. I may turn around and end up darkening this side of it towards me, because the light is for the effect from the outside, looking at the helmet, looking at the eyes. I don't need the light in my face. Here you'll see the phone set up. It's inside. There's actually plenty of room in front of my face for doing a few extra gadgets or something on either side. Simply, it sits like so. I'll put it in camera mode, turn the camera on, and essentially you can see wherever I'm looking inside the helmet. The camera lens, well, not the camera lens, but the glass actually cracked through all this. So eventually this will have to come out, and I'll have to replace it with another one. But for testing purposes and stuff, and getting everything in order, I'll have to basically come up with another camera and see where it should, redo everything and put it back in its place. Actually right now there's my USB hookup to the side in the camera. And that runs out the cheek right now. I got it right there. Runs right out the cheek where I have a filter set up. Comes out the side right here. And basically that's my hookup to the computer. On this end right here, now I'm going to take it and plug it up to my computer up here. Whoops. not going to reach. There we go. I plugged it into the back of the computer. And now it's essentially going to be charging it. Let me turn this back off. And you'll see the flashing arrow. There, you should be able to see it flashing there in the top right corner. That means it's charging off the computer right now. So, I'll be able to hook up to my laptop, which is right there, which will be in the sort of like the carrying backpack piece that's in the back of the suit, which carries my laptop. So I'll be able to run a couple interesting software, maybe, you know, sound effects or whatever. But essentially, you get the idea of kind of where I'm going with that. Eventually, interactive software, you know, speech recognition. I can install a microphone inside of here and basically speak basic commands to the laptop to trigger things or whatever. Any kind of tech inside the suit, maybe work sounds or basic motors that can move or something based on switching on and off, and trigger some things to function. But the whole idea basically is to test out the shielding, the camera setup works. Believe it or not, the camera is just this little tiny ass, whoops, right down there on the, there's a little square silver thing, that's the camera, but we're looking at the back side of it, and it pokes right out that hole. I figured that's pretty cool. When I put it on, it's a little blurry, so I have to adjust some of the resolution so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm still working on my new fancy arc reactor with several different types of plugins. I've probably already showed this before. That's an external hookup for power. It's got a rechargeable battery setup. I'm using capacitors in there to help store some of the juice and trigger it, discharge the juice, basically. It's sort of like I'm trying to create an infinite loop, hopefully, of one is supporting the other as far as power production, power distribution, okay, giving back a little bit towards recharging the battery and the capacitor, storing some of the juice and discharging it to help light it. So that's that particular right there. It's actually turned out pretty good, pretty cool. Let me take this top off. You'll be able to see some of its working components. Still working on that touch principle. If I come near it, I actually create a ground, and it actually comes on because of the infinite loop of the power. It needs a little oomph right there. As you can see, it will sustain itself a little bit. It's flickering because it's picking up some juice. The battery's probably a little weak, and so the cycle winds down. So it's not, well, lack of a better term, you know, a forever device. So far, though, it proves the practical application in the way that I'm trying to have it be autonomous, you know, or self-sustaining to some extent. I mean, relying on the elements and such, you know, the solar power production, or just simply energy created from the circular. I keep referring to a circular because everything comes around, and, you know, one thing is helping the other, which helps the other, which turns around and helps it, which started it in the first place. I've got a couple more odds and ends here. There's a solar panel array set up that also is going to be incorporated into the suit. And, well, that in particular, that's for this particular update. I just wanted to touch on the camera setup inside of here, inside of the helmet. And as you know, right now it's charging the system, which is awesome. Looks like he's checking me out. Hope you got a kick out of that. That's just for that particular. I've got a couple other things I'll touch on once I come back to it. And this is IronMan Build number 10 update. And we'll be back. We'll come up with some other stuff here that I want to show off to you. And we'll come back to that. Alright. Peace.